was busy doing other things, but look, the sun is out. The sun just blasted through the clouds. So we gotta go. I gotta take some product photos and use this light while I have it. I was gonna be all clever and film me doing a time lapse of it, but I need the camera to take photos, so I won't be able to show you. That is the last one. I like to put things here to make it like an object, give it a sense of scale, and then when I have the different sizes, you can see it. But we did it. We got them all photographed before the sun went away. Look what just arrived. Thank goodness. Thank you, Jerry's Artorama. Fast shipping, well packaged. I can start gluing finally. I am so behind on this. It's a beautiful day outside, so I had the patio door open and a fly flew in to join us. I had to halt production because I can't have the fly landing on the varnish and making tiny little fly feet prints in the varnish. So I hopped online and made some traps. This one is soap based. This one is molasses, hoping to catch this little fly that was zooming around and around. And then my boyfriend suggested I just turn out all the lights and then the fly would fly out the open door, and it did immediately. So back to work. That was a really great idea, and I'll remember that next time a fly gets in. I feel like I am just now getting a grip on how to photograph my paintings, how to adjust them in Photoshop, because the photo you take isn't always gonna look like the painting. So I was really excited because this one I worked on for a long time, and I feel like I got it pretty close. It's difficult. It's a whole other set of skills. I've been having a great time going back in my files and finding paintings that sold a while ago to make them into prints. Prints are a really affordable way to start an art collection, and I like them as gifts too. They're really a great size. I don't usually put hanger hooks on these little 4x4s, but they are going to be hanging on the wall of a business, so I gotta have a way to hang them up. Since I'm making one of everything, I thought this is a great chance to lay it all out and record what I actually have, so when I'm making them I know it's available, or I can send that to retailers. But I don't have a big surface to photograph on, so I'm just doing it on the bed. Not that you couldn't tell because of the literal bed sheet. I have been really stressed out the last month, but it's not the bad kind of stress. It's the good kind, the kind that motivates me and gives me energy and makes me wake up and can't wait to get out of bed because I gotta finish varnishing these like I am doing here. This is the Lockhorn Cider House where I live here in Bozeman, Montana. Lots of coffee shops and cider houses and other social places like to have art on their walls. I recommend this to anyone who's trying to get a start with showing art. If you are not set up for a show or you're not ready for big shows yet, you can apply to businesses like these. And I like this setting because people are just hanging out and it's social and casual and they can connect to your art. I just got everything all hung up. It'll be here for the month of June. I'm super excited. Yay! I'm happy to have that done. Now it's on to the next thing. I'm really glad I made so many prints because I hung almost all of them up and I sold one while I was hanging them up. So I foresee myself making a lot more of those, so I'm actually going to put in an order right now for more panels because I am out and I need to be making more for my next show. I will show you what the house has looked like for the last 2 weeks. Every flat surface in the bedroom was covered in prints. We had things drying on the nightstands, over here, all these things to weigh the prints down. And then I'm just gonna show you real quick because it's crazy, right? It's crazy! So I'm gonna pick this up. But yeah, it's been such a mess because I've just been busy. All these shelves were full. And now that it's all hung up, we can clean. Seeing things slowly grow is very exciting. So I wanted to get a video of this shelf. This is just supplies. These are the prints, the flat prints that I have. And then here's some extra panels. And look, I have 4 rolls of tape. That will probably last me a while, but makes me feel pretty official. Like I could tape up a lot of boxes if I wanted to. But the best part of cleaning up at all is being able to go to my app and say done. Ta-da! All clean. I've got the shelves organized, and we are back in business. That feels good. I have some more backing boards here that I ordered. Things take a while to get here, so I like to stay ahead of it so I'm not having to rush shipping. It's been difficult to find places for everything because I want it to be efficient, and I also want everything in the same place so I can see when we're getting low. But some of these things are just, I'm running out of space. I just want more and more shelves. Something really exciting happened. I just got an email from the cider house where my prints are hung, and they sold a bunch, so I need to replace those spots. Let me bring you up to speed. I just got back from the Lockhorn Cider House. I was bringing in replacement prints for the ones that sold, and from the time she contacted me and said, hey, these ones are missing, and the time I got out there, like a couple days later, more had sold. So there were more missing spots. So I am working fast to replace those because they do take 3 days to make. It is, of course, very amazing that people are buying these prints. I love that they love my art and that it makes them happy. But I know I've mentioned before, I have all this catalog of videos across the years of me like crying on the kitchen floor or whatever, being like, how long is this gonna take? When does this start happening? When do I start being able to sell things that people want? So the fact that it's happening now, and I've had some shows that were wonderful and people bought stuff, but to be selling things, a lot of things outside of a show at this time of year is pretty cool, and that is new to me. And it's happening, it's happening. I could reach back in time and say, hey Kins, dry your tears, cause just 10 more years. These just came in the mail. I had a box before this that some were damaged. Talked to customer support. Blick is amazing, highly recommend. So they're replacing those right away, but these ones are all good, which means I can start making them right now. I made a list of every print that I'm gonna need because I still have a couple on the shelf of certain ones, and then I'm printing them out, and I have everything with a sticky note so I can keep track of them. And I'm just making sure I have them all printed out so that when I start, I can just go with the flow and just glue one right after the other. It's another beautiful morning in the kitchen. Today we are testing more glue. This whole summer I've been using Yes Paste, which is wonderful. It's thick, it doesn't warp the paper, it's very juicy. It's expensive, but that's okay because I want the prints to be good. But some of the problems I've been running into because it is so thick is getting it even when I'm spreading it on and making sure all the edges stay down. And I've been trying to correct for that by drying the prints upside down with weights on them, but you need a totally flat surface to do this, and my surfaces aren't completely flat even though they're pretty close. Not all the edges are gonna meet the surface. Usually it's just the middle of the print that is flat, so sometimes the edges don't totally dry, and then I have to go back in. You can see where the edge is lifting a little bit with more glue and then re-glue it and flatten it down. So I am on the quest to find a glue that is not so thin that it warps the paper, but thin enough that I can get everything nice and smooth and flat on all edges, so I only have to do it once. And I was going through the archives and I remembered some people said they used Mod Podge, which really surprised me because when I've used that in collage and stuff, it wrinkles like crazy. But I have learned a trick that helps so much, and I think I'm going to be using Mod Podge at least for the small ones. I don't know how well you'll be able to see since this isn't varnished, but it's smooth. There aren't any wrinkles on this. This is a 6x6, which is not small when you're dealing with gluing things down. And the edges have adhered really well, and it worked lovely. So this is what we're gonna try, and I will show you the trick that I learned. I learned so much from other videos that other people post, so thank you. If you're someone who videos your process and puts it online, thank you a billion. I'll put a couple links to videos in my description of ones that have really helped me out. A lot of it comes down to trial and error because depending on the kind of paper you are using and what you're mounting it on and everything, your technique, it's gonna turn out different, but here's what I learned. This is a 4x4. If your print is small enough, you can just put Mod Podge on the wood, slap the paper down, and just hold it and kind of wrestle the edges down until it is tacky enough to hold the paper. So it's doable. There's no wrinkles. You can muscle your way through it. With the bigger sizes, You have to get all the glue on the wood, even layer as you can. Don't get on too thick. Let it get tacky for a second. You want to spray the back of your print paper with a mist of water. Don't soak it, but definitely get it wet. And then you're going to apply it to the wood. And this makes a nice even layer. It keeps it from wrinkling in the middle. You're still gonna have to push down those edges. And while it's drying in this initial phase, keep a close eye on the edges just so that your print is lined up, because it will slide around like crazy. But if you can just hold it long enough for it to get a good grip, then you should be good to go.